Hello guys, I just got my light off for a minute because I want to show you what it's causing. Oh, they've got their heads down and moving now. But this is the extent of like, you know, like just the whole effects of everything going on right now. I mean, it's 2 o'clock in the morning and they're bored. They're absolutely bored. They're bored. But they were just out here, and basically I showed you the other day on a live that I've got some like debris just up at the top, and basically a bunch of teenagers have just been kung fu pandering and kicking it in. But obviously they've seen me come and turn my light off, and not ran off, not scoured, just gone. So anyway, I can turn my light back on now. So there you go. I just wanted to show you the effects of kids bored, I suppose. And they're bored. They're really, really, really bored. I can't get out of my kitchen now. Seriously, my fridge is double Dutch, look, in order to get out from my fridge. Oh, seriously. I have to bring the door through. And through this way. So, oof. For those who've just come on, who've just missed, I was just showing you what bored people who can't be here in their flats do. So basically the kids were just trashing things out the front, and I'm trying to get in from my fridge. So anyway, I wasn't planning to stay on, but as I am here for a bit, I thought I'd do a bit of a catch up. I'm a bit tired and I'm ready to go to sleep and prepare for the week. So I'm just doing some last minute shutdowns, as you do, straightening up and things like that, just to go and rest for a bit. And it's been a really lovely day, but this evening I've been watching sort of programs on, and I watch these programs anyways, so, but the dynamics in watching these programs is different now, because when I used to watch these programs before, I used to watch them with sort of like a futuristic, possibly maybe in 30-40 years time of our lives, you know, even another fucking 100 years or whatever. Like, you know, do you remember when Terminator was out and you all used to sit there watching Terminator and RoboCop, even RoboCop, and you used to sit there and think how cool RoboCop was and how amazing it would be to have, you know, this RoboCop. It wouldn't be so cool now, would it? Here it comes. Like, seriously, I've been watching some of the professors that, like, I mean, I was actually one of the people that said, hang on a minute, once AI is plugged in, you're basing its development on its previous, and this is where the compounding effect is going to come in. And what's going to happen is when it's actually connected worldwide, and obviously basically AI is going to be learning from us, me, it's going to have everything you've ever said, everything you've ever done, every emotion you've ever expressed, everything. It's going to download it all. That means what we potentially thought was going to happen in 30 years can actually happen in 5. So at the end of the day, the development of AI will work at the rate and speed that AI develops at, and no human can do that. And like I was talking on my live earlier on, and I was just talking about people who let their dogs poo on the pavement, and how AI will be sort of the chief of police for that. That's the new policing, do you know what I mean? It will be like, I really think we, the British people, and not just the British people, but we around the world should really be talking about this stuff. Like, I mean, people think that Musk and Gates are on the same field. They're not. Gates wants to buy the links to basically Starlink, So he can basically attach Google to that. Okay, cool, fantastic. And then the Canadian, this is why I really need to map all of this properly as well. I had done at some point, and I do have books with a lot of it in, and obviously back in 2000 and I think it was also 7 and stuff like that, I started writing who were the main speakers of all of the events and how it interacted and what they were talking about and stuff like that. I've always pricked up my head when it comes to Johnny Five is alive. Come on. You can't tell me that when Texter come out, you didn't go and buy one for your kids. Like, seriously, everybody bought their kids a little robot dog. We all did. And my friend Kirsten, when I was a kid, I mean, like when I was a kid, when I was a like junior school kid, she had one of those ones, you know, the little ones that used to come in on with the tray, and you used to be able to get it to go to the kitchen and stuff. And then obviously all that sort of stuff stopped because, again, fear of the development of this sort of stuff and blah blah blah, and also not having the capabilities that 5G is going to give. Basically, I could be sitting at my window now, yeah, and all of a sudden you'll go, yeah, and you'll see a, what's them things that come through? I got one. What are they? Drones. So you'll see a drone delivery coming to drop a parcel from Amazon off, book, dress, whatever, to your local person. And Starline basically is a constellation of satellites that form I don't know how to go into this because I don't know what level of understanding and everybody. I'm gonna maybe have to sort of take the time out to really seriously put this all into some form of educational tutorial video of some way, and sort of show you how each person in government, so take for example somebody of transport, so then with transport you've got all of the different trains and how they all sort of work and stuff like that. And what you've got to remember is use trains as an example. You gotta agree with me. You want the clickety clack, clickety clack, clickety clack, clickety clack, clickety clack. Train's gone, yeah. So the Liverpool to Morton, you know, you want them trains gone. You want them really cool, super duper, hydronic, whatever electric trains, don't you? Yes, you know you do. Everybody wants them. They're cool, they're snazzy, they're sharp. They go, the doors go, and you get to go on, and everybody wants a Lexus, don't they? Everybody wants to walk in their door and they want to go, Lexus, and Alexis comes in and goes, hey Kelly, how was your day? And you go, oh Alexis, fine, can you just put the kettle on for me? No problems, Kelly. What else can I do for you today, Kelly? Would you like any music on? Oh Alexis, please, could you put on, oh, Dancing Monkeys? Would you like a new song on, Kelly? Yeah, fantastic. That would be great, Alexis. Let's all just talk to our computer for the day. Okay. Alexis, can you turn the lights out, please? Alexis, can you run a bath, please? Sophia, can you take that bag to the car for me, please? So basically, you're going to have, like, for those that don't know, you'd have to really, when I first got into Amazon, so basically I had the opportunity to get very, very, very wealthy very, very quickly through drop shipping. And when I first got to understand drop shipping and Amazon and stuff like that, I was a little bit dubious because one thing that I don't like is ever getting involved with anything that is incongruent with my core values and beliefs. And it was at the time that the robots started coming in to work at factories, and it's like, you know, this is like amazing in one way, but challenging in another way. And then people can say, well, hang on a minute. People are just scared of change, and people are just scared of changing. Like, take the washing machine. Like, do you really want to go back to hand washing your clothes? Wasn't the washing machine an amazing thing? So I think really we should be coming together as assemblies and communities within our own town halls and really talking about where AI is going to take us as a city. Yes, get the kids doing futuristic pictures and designs of, what the world may look like in 5 years' time, 30 years' time. I mean, come on, you're going to see the drones, you're going to see things moving forward, you're going to see the cars coming out. I'm wondering whether Tesla is linked to the Tesla that Ireland's having problems with children. I don't know if it connects. If it does, then that's an easy link for me to go and speak to them. If it's not and it's two separate things, then I need to confirm that, because that makes a difference in my alliance with certain people and certain things. So, hey, you got kids. If you got the opportunity to take your kids to NASA, would you take your kids? Of course. So I'm going to take my kids to NASA. Why would I not do that? I feel, as much as I want to say no and slam the brake on it, and as much as I keep saying I would want to just go into the country and just get away from all of this, I think it would be a really good idea for me to have that retreat. But the Lord is saying, no, I got to do another 10 years. But this time, this 10 years is going to be in not humans, but in artificial life of robots and things like that. So obviously I'm putting this out on these videos, and I will always be open and transparent with people that I'm around and stuff, that I'm here because there is a line between what's sad about this robot and AI stuff really is actually we could get to the level that we needed if our country and our world didn't pre-select people that were dumbasses and actually gave people a chance. So, just because somebody was born to a crackhead, smackhead on the streets, went through foster care, doesn't mean they can't work at NASA. Of course they can. They got, just, in fact, actually, you've got more opportunities than normal kids. So if it was a case of every single one of us knew who we were, what we did, what we wanted to do, and we knew that we could achieve that, and we understood the difference between our ego and our eco, and being in our own way, and our subconscious and unconscious, and we were taught these basic fundamentals of the science of our own mind and everything connected and blah, 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 blah. If that was standard taught, like this big thing that's going on at the moment, to completely remove the word God from the whole language of anything, and to completely remove the teachings that some of us brought out, which were the teachings for the 1% that we brought out to the 99, and obviously I've been shot in the foot for doing so. But at the end of the day, it's out. You can't stop this from keep going, and it will continue to keep going, and it will continue to be paid forward, and people will continue to take on that information, and with that mustard seed of faith that there is something better, there is something different, there is something more than this getting up, going to work to pay the bills, or sitting on government benefits watching Jeremy Kyle and helping people that don't really need help, and shifting around on your little scooters to get your DLA and all that shit. And for people that are going to work and having to drag people's ass for a dream and a pipe dream so they can build their own home and stuff like this, and this horrible hamster wheel that we're in, because it was designed this way, because they can't walk around to you whipping and cripping you anymore, because we do have this thing that is about our human rights, and our human rights are something that people have fought really for, and we should be implementing them and using them, but we've got to do it as our own individual, within our own families, within our own communities, and I don't know, I find this really difficult. There's a lot of dissonance going on with me at the moment, because the world is just so beautiful to me, and it's really difficult for me to get my head around that there is such a disaster going on. because that world just doesn't exist to me, because in the world that I live in, the sea is beautiful, the flowers are doing amazing, the fact that they haven't been out there cutting the grass, you know, nature is growing in places that they usually mow, and you know, daisy chains are coming together in heart shapes of grass and things, and we've been making all the shapes out for how the flowers have all come together, and you know, and I really do think that we should as a world just have a holiday for the planet time, you know, just to let Mother Earth just decide where she needs things to be, where she wants the trees to be, where she thinks the flowers should be growing, and where rivers should be going, and let the beavers do what the beavers have got to do, and you know, let the ants do what the ants have got to do. There's more ants than us, you know, and it's like we have no idea of the evolution of the world and how the cycle of the world works, and we take it so for granted that, you know, it would if all the if all the animals were let out of the zoo, and we the humans stayed indoors, and we said, look, let nature take its course. You'd see the elephants marching down Downing Street. You'd see the lions ripping the heads off of the paedophiles. You'd see snakes fucking curled around holding people tight that were arseholes. You'd see birds pecking at the head of the bad people, and you'd see the chimps sitting laughing with the goods, and you know, and the zebras sort of stood at the gates, and you know what I mean? I know I sound crazy, but you would, you know, you would. It's just that the animals that we have been contained because of humans. It's like, you know, we've got seals down on our sea, and you've got one set of people, mainly the XR people, that are going there like, look, you know, the seals are like chilling out on the sea, how cool's this? And then you've got other people, it's like, get it back in the water, get it back in the water, it needs to get in the water. Well, no, it doesn't. It knows what it needs. It wants the sun. It wants the sun. Why do we want the sun? Because the sun is the greatest vitamin for us all. You know, the sun is the only thing that we allow for natural rays. All these sun products and stuff, and you know, fear mongering you over skin cancer, and you know, so you go out and buy a product, supply demand, create the fear, create the solution, create the fear, create the solution, create a problem, create the solution, create a problem, create the solution. You know, create the problem, fix it. Here's the solution. You know, oh, wow, you got a virus. Cool, we got a vaccination. Cool, wow, brilliant. Cool, how long until it's ready? Brilliant, how much? Who's paying? And who's profiting? And that's all you've got to ask. How much, who's paying, and who's profiting? And if you can answer those three questions about everything going on. But the problem is, it's so easy to jumble them all up and think like Richard Branson and I don't know, what's the other one? Alan Sugar, you know, are sitting in the pub having a chat, and they're all mates and stuff like that. It's not the different fields, the different people. It's just that things like Forbes put them all on the same page and things. And, you know, like Elon is not the same as Bill Gates. You know, it's just that it does connect, and it connects over because it's called a merger. It's called, oh, hang on a minute, you're creating a product that I really want. So we've got face recognition. This face recognition software we're using already, yes, already exists, already here, runs on normal 4G, yeah, no problems. Face recognition, been using it for years. But this face recognition, once AI plugs in properly, and once Starline is in, because is it Starline or Starlink? One of the two. So basically, as soon as Starline, as soon as these constellations, so I think, I can't remember how many, last count, last time I checked was 470. I don't know how much is up there now. But, you know, and here's the funny thing as well. A post was put out about their groups that said, oh my goodness, I can't believe it. I don't know why it's happening and everything like that. But like all of a sudden we've got all this interest. And this is really great because we want it out there, but they can't work out how it's happened. It's happened because people like me and many others are telling you about it, saying, please look at this information, please see. Because whether it becomes the biggest disaster that completely fucking wipes the planet off, or whether it becomes the best starter ever of something amazing, beautiful and great, or whether or not it's the biggest flop of grandeur people with great ideas that never really went anywhere, or whether or not it worked but people just didn't buy into it. But people want it. There are countries that don't have internet at all. There are countries that don't even have fucking 1G. You know, there are countries that don't even have the good old router. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, you always see Amber, but you don't realise Amber's in Trinidad, mate. You want to see the computer Amber's dealing with. You know, they can't wait until probably 5G's over there. But at the end of the day, it has to be accepted that Bill Gates has to go to prison for the murder of the African. And then you've got to be careful when you say Africa, because West Africa and all of the different Souths and Indians, and it's very different. You've got to be really, really careful. Nigeria, Gambia, and all of those places, they're different places. They're different. They've got the different problems. They've got different issues going on. But as I said in my live earlier on, in a lot of countries, it's just rich, poor, rich, poor, rich, poor. There's no in between. We're slightly sheltered because it's rich, middle class, and poor. So, working class. So, we have this sort of suburban beat the Joneses in between it. Whereas, like, when you go to Egypt, and I have actually been to Egypt, and I have actually been down the Niles on a boat, so I have actually seen this personally. So you literally go down the Niles, and then you'll see like £1 million for a house, and they build on top of each other per family as well. And then you'll just see kids on the streets that are going to get beaten if they even eat what you give them. And, you know, the divide between wealth and poverty is that obvious. It's either you're down there, broken thing, or you're up there. It's as simple as that. There's no blur between it. You're rich and you're wealthy and you're prosperous, or you're poor, broken, sick. And they understand that it's about mindset. It's just that we've got people that nearly make it, so it keeps this middle going, because we've got more tools available to us. We're sort of the slight upgrade here in the Western world in some ways, because we've sort of advanced in ways already. I mean, we can already 3D print all the masks and everything that people are wearing and stuff like that, you know. So all I say is there's going to be a day. As somebody who deals with trauma, it's very, very difficult for me to make interpersonal relationships with people, right? And I tend to move and shake and change around. That means it's very difficult for one person to get to know me inside out, right? You're basically allowing a computer to know the ins and outs of you, even the time you shit, when you eat, what you do, because it's even going to be things like it will be programmed into your cooker. It will turn your cooker on. It knows what programs you're watching. It even knows if you're having a wank and watching porn. So, you know, it's going to know you more than your wife or husband knows you. And it depends whether you take the internal chip or not with this vaccination. And is it really wrong to get rid of cash? No, great. Get rid of the fucking shitty things. I don't mind having a cash card. It doesn't bother me. I don't mind having my keys and, you know, a little key fob on it that's like my little cash key thing and stuff. I don't even mind the thought of even having this chip, really, because, you know, like, but then I was funny about the rod for having the contraception, but I've had a coil, you know, and it's like, I don't have a problem with medical intervention, you know. In order for me to not hemorrhage, I have to take an injection, and that doesn't bother me. But nobody was trying to manipulate me to do it. I was told, I understood, I knew what it was doing. Obviously, I didn't know the ins and outs, and I will probably never understand it because that's not my field. But I assume the doctor giving it to me wanted to bring life into the world for me to be a mother, and that's why he was doing it. not because his intention is to take that baby away from me and make me numb and go and adopt my baby. It's all about intention, isn't it? And I think I just feel that prior to this whole new lease of life that we're going to get, where you'll look out your window and you know, your car will drive past the takeaway rather than, you know, when I say drive, I mean fly. I mean fly. Fly past your window. And you're going to see, you know, all of your shopping. I mean, this is the mad thing about it, right? You're going to go to your fridge and you're going to ask for a cucumber, and that cucumber will be 3D printed in your fucking fridge, and you're going to eat this shit. And at the moment, the farming industry is going to be the first to go, and the crops that are going to be created. Organic, mate. Organic is going to start going up in price, because to find, unless you're growing your own fruit and veg, which, to be honest, I'm not being funny, the chances is they will find a way of saying you can't do this because of, I don't know, there's a soil fucking mitation fucking problem with earthworms or something. They got the shits. So, you know, the fruit and veg that we eat already now, I mean, look, this banana hasn't grown naturally on a tree in a place that has hung on the tree to the chances that it needed. It's probably been planned, and what they do you even know what they do to fruit and veg anymore? Do you even know? Really? Do you even know? Are you ready for this life? Really? Do you get what I'm doing now, Jit? Start trekking across the universe. Start trekking. Actually, I'll tell you what. Let's start a revolution of everybody singing Star Trek. So, anyway, guys, I'm going to bugger off because I wasn't actually planning to come on. But, like, for me, and this is the problem with me standing up for others, I tend to stand up for the majority, and I end up standing up for stuff that it doesn't really bother me, and it sometimes works for me. Like when I won to stop them putting lectures on Wednesdays, because Wednesdays have been sports and societies for years, and they were starting to put lectures on Wednesdays, and I won, and it was like, fucking hell, Wednesday's the only day I can get a bloody babysitter. So, I mean, I'm quite fascinated by AI, if I'm brutally honest, and I'm quite interested to see what it could do for collagen and my EDS and understanding my brain and things like that, and my emotion regulation. So, I'm fascinated, but I just think that people should know that that's what's going on, and that's why you're on lockdown. You're not on lockdown because of a fucking coronavirus. You're on lockdown because of the changeover in our world right now, and I just think that we should have talked about this as a country, and the reason they haven't talked to you about it is because you're not equal to them. You're their slaves. We are their slaves, and it's about time we weren't. And the only way that we can stop being their slaves is for you to realise that the BBC broadcasting brainwashing thing has been how they do this, that certain papers has been how they do this. And basically, we've got more transparency now with people being able to see. There was a time when people didn't even realise that you can walk through and watch Parliament. People understand that now. People do watch what's going on. And people are understanding that when these laws change, it does affect us. And it's not about just going, oh, hang on a minute. It is about saying, hang on a minute, mate. You work for us. And we need to talk about how we want our schools, and we've got problems going on, and where we're putting our kids' schools, and we've got to sort this stuff out. And do we even want our children in school? And thanks to you actually allowing for our kids to be home, we're not going to be returning them for them to be compulsory vaccinated, because it's not compulsory for you to vaccinate my child. It's just compulsory for your insurance for my child to be vaccinated on your property. So please remember that. That's a very important fact. Let me repeat that. It is not compulsory for them to vaccinate your child as in your flesh and blood, but it is mandatory for your child to be vaccinated on an insurable property such as the education school system, and that's the only way they can actually really do it. So if you homeschool, then it's not actually mandatory unless they take you to court that there's some form of reason that your child should be vaccinated. So anyway, understand your rights, know your laws, and then you can empower yourself in your truth, rather than standing with your voice shaking because you don't have that certainty. And stop trying to be animals. Like, seriously, you're not lions, you're not sheep, you're not rhinos. You are human beings. And right now there is a war on the human being, and that is the humanoid. And I don't want my kids being taken from me by Robocop. Can't fight that one. Oh, by the way, before I go, I was talking to that photographer, the police one, and I said, wouldn't it be really cool now if we could get like XR yellow jackets and everything, and the police all lined up for a photo shoot where you got all the police all completely armed up, masked up and everything, and everybody on the other side, and then all of a sudden as they come together, so if anyone wants to do this, go ahead. So as they come together, all of a sudden they turn into being mums and dads and brothers and sisters and uncles and aunts, and yay, how cool would that be? What an art piece, eh? Anyway, guys, catch you later. I'm going to go and eat my banana. I'm very tired, and I'm going to go sleep. I'm fucking so tired. I need pins on these eyes. I need to just make them go blah. I got really heavy eyelids as it is, and it really, really annoys me. My kids actually think I'm asleep because I've got really heavy eyelids. So I show you how heavy my eyelids. Look, watch this. This is an EDS thing. Just before I go. It's an EDS thing, by the way. So anyway, before I go, 1st of May, I will be talking about EDS from this point, but I'm going to be bringing AI into this as well, because I'm going to start talking to people about collagen and everything, and using the month of May to go back to basics of our biology and everything, and use it as an opportunity to talk about it and maybe connect up, because it is EDS Awareness Month. And also on the 17th of May is my birthday. So I'm just trying to do some fucking stupid video thing online, and I really don't like birthday parties because you get disappointed by who turns up and who doesn't turn up, and it's really fucking annoying. So I don't like doing all of that stuff, but I feel like doing something this year, because why not? Why not celebrate 42 years of my life? It's been 42 years of many different chapters, and many chapters worth living. So yeah, right now I could literally have my phone sitting there, and I could say goodbye, and when I say goodbye, my phone automatically switches off, and then it says to me, would you like a coffee? I say, yes please. What would you like to watch? And I sit down and I, Alexa, documentary space, and that's it. And that's the way we will live, and it will seem really cool, and it will be really comfortable, and it will seem very easy. And maybe that's all it will be. Hey? Maybe there'll be no problems from it whatsoever. Not a glitch. Not one glitch. Such a perfect, amazing AI system. Unflappable. Apart from the fact that they're actually making children from growing to see if they can actually evolve and grow and age. Or whether they just have to keep changing them like a bra goes up in size. I'm out of here. I've got so much on my mind, guys. I could talk all day. I could talk all day with so much on my mind. This is why I've got to put it in books. I've got to put it in books, and people can decide what they think about my crazy inside of my mind, and what I think about all day, and what I conversate in my own head, and what my internal dialogue is, and what I think about and focus on. So anyway, what a beautiful day it was by the sea today. I'm gonna go sleep. I'm tired. Speak later. Bye.